Today I have commentator extraordinaire Dave Dawson. How's it going, Dave?
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to chat here. I don't know if commentator extraordinaire. I feel like those are big shoes to fill. Maybe somebody who's had a longer career than me, but really appreciate the time on.
Yeah. Okay, to start off, we'll have a little bit of story time. I see you have a little bit of experience with the AJHL here in Alberta. Can you tell us a bit about your background in hockey and how you found yourself working in lacrosse?
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate that. I think kind of growing up, I'd always wanted to be in broadcast. That was kind of, when you had the table hockey games, so I was playing both ends of the table and commentating, and I'd kind of always known that was going to be something that would be part of my journey throughout life. So I got into broadcast in my late 20s, started doing play-by-play in Whitecourt actually in junior B back in the late, I guess, somewhere around 2007, 2008, and after graduating from college. And then found my way going through Medicine Hat and worked the WHL on Shaw for a number of years there, if you remember those days back on Cable 10 when they used to do the Western Hockey League broadcast. So I traveled around, did that, and did between the benches and the interviews, and then play by play was always kind of where my heart was. So continued to journey through there, and then met the guys with HN Live somewhere in around the 2018 time, and that's where the full time gig is now. I did the remainder of the season for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the Western Hockey League this year for their play by play as Andrew Peard moved on to work with the Oilers. So yeah, play-by-play has always kind of been on my heart. In the Alberta Junior Hockey League, when I moved to Alberta in 2008, started to build relationships with the AJHL, and that started from just doing some color commentating for some of the games. I ended up doing play-by-play for the Shore Park Crusaders for a few years there back in the glory days, right before the COVID-19 pandemic, and the team that we never know exactly what could have been, how good they could have been. So I've done play-by-play for the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, the Spruce Grove Saints. I actually do all of their video content for the playoffs and the finals here, and I've done that for a couple of years now. So, yeah, with the AJHL, it's close to my heart as well, and as is the game of lacrosse. And just to finish off that long rant with lacrosse, HM Live, we started doing their games 2 years ago, the RMLL Junior A, and it's been near and dear to my heart since. So,
Nice. Well, what a great way to open up. Okay. Now I got a few questions for you, and
sure.
then we got our rapid fire game. So, who are your
Okay.
inspirations in sport?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I think there's so many people that we can be inspired by. Lately, I found myself watching the Last Dance documentary pretty often, and just because I love the characteristics of Michael Jordan, the way he would lead his groups, and the way he learned early in his career that if he was going to make other people better, it wasn't just about him being the best player on the floor. He needed to find ways to bring everyone up around him. And I firmly believe in that, not only in sport, but in life. I really believe in, if I can make other people better, that only makes my life better. So I believe in those principles. And for sure, Michael Jordan right now, I think going back, I watched the Last Dance documentary probably once every 6 weeks. I've seen it about 10 times. So
Wow. Yeah, no, it's called The Last Stand. Where is that
the,
documentary
the
on?
last, yeah, the Last Dance, it's on Netflix. So it's a
Oh, cool.
documentary of yeah, the Chicago Bulls kind of journey through all the years, and specifically on Michael Jordan. It's 10 episodes. It's a really easy watch.
Nice.
But yeah, it kind of dives into the story of the Chicago Bulls and their dynasty. And yeah, I really, really love just the character of Michael Jordan and what he was able to present there for sure.
Nice. I might have to give that a watch.
Definitely.
Okay. What is your fave game day hydration drink when you're up in the
Yeah, I coffee, certainly coffee. I need a
booth?
lot of that. I have it currently. It's the liquid that I live by. So
Yeah.
definitely, I've been trying to cut back on sugar and pop and things like that. Just the older I get is the health thing. But I'm usually a water and a coffee guy. You'll find those two beverages around me pretty often. So
Nice. Alright. What is the best cereal in your opinion?
best cereal. Oh man, I grew up, I was a big Frosted Flakes guy. They have lasted the test of time. There's something to be said for a good Rice Krispie. It's
Yeah.
it's lasted a long time as well. My dad enjoyed puffed wheat growing up. I could never understand that, but definitely have to say Frosted Flakes is always going to be close to my heart. And yeah, that'll be what I think. So
Yeah, I can respect Frosted Flakes. It's definitely up there for me as well.
Awesome.
My top one is Fruity Pebbles, though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can never really get behind the Fruit Loops. I can never get behind fruit in cereal, or just as a personal opinion. Growing up, I thought if I was gonna have fruit, I'd have fruit, and then I'd have cereal. I'm one of those guys that when you have your food groups on the plate, they don't touch either, right? You have your
Yep.
vegetables, you have your meat. Like that, I eat them vegetables first, meat and potatoes. I'll never
Huh.
dabble them together. So
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. If you could have a personal theme song that played whenever you entered a room, what would it be?
never entered a room. It's so good. There's a song that I played. I like to try and play before broadcast. It just gets me in a good mindset of I like to be calm when I'm doing games, but I also like to be focused. So it's a song that's called "All for You" by a band named Mike's Chair. It's pretty not a very common song, but I try to listen to that as often as I can before a game. It just kind of gets me in a good mood before I'm hitting the airwaves. So
Nice. Yeah, sounds like a good one for sure. Okay. Now we have our 1 minute rapid fire game
bring it on.
where you want the most time left, and the time to beat right now is 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds on the clock. It's going to be tough on because I'm a storyteller. So it's hard for like when I'm choosing these things, it's tough. So, okay, I'll do my best.
Coke or Pepsi?
Definitely Pepsi.
Tim's or Starbucks?
M's for sure.
Disney Plus or Netflix?
Netflix.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Junior Mounties or the Okotoks Raiders?
Oh, this is where I'm going to lose all my time. I have had the privilege of getting to know Cody Hawkins on a closer level, so I can't pick between the two, but Cody and I have become really good friends, and that's where the relationship side for me. So I'm not going to pick between the two, but I'll take Cody Hawkins. Mitch Bannister is a great dude. There, I lost 20 seconds. I suck. So
Mentality or physicality?
I think mentality.
Time travel or teleportation?
Sure, time travel.
Hamburger or hot dog?
Hamburger for sure.
RML or AJHL?
Oh, yikes. You're really putting me on the spot here. I'm not going to beat any record at all. I think I just because I have a longer standing relationship with the AJHL and the way that the RMLL is still growing, there's still opportunities for it to get better. The AJHL, I think, is an elite level organization run by elite people in such a low level junior A. So I'll say AJHL for now.
DC or Marvel?
I don't like either, actually. I'm not a comic book guy.
Bonus question: Pixar movie or Disney movie?
Oh, I'm more of a documentary guy, but I guess we'll say Pixar.
Nice. Okay, you got 7 seconds on the clock.
Okay, I made it under 60. As soon as you threw that Raiders or Mounties question in there, I knew I would lose 20 or 25 because I like both of them. Great players on each team. So
Yeah, I bring the tough questions.
yeah, no, it's Cody told me that it was going to be you're going to throw me to the dogs here, so under the fire.
Yeah.
But no, I love the RMLL. It's into my third year, and back when the Edmonton Rush were here, I covered them for Shaw TV when I worked for them years ago. So I had kind of known about lacrosse, but I didn't really know how great the game was until I started to get to know the people. And the guys that I've been able to meet, from, again, Mitch Bannister to John Lynch to Cody Hawkins to on and on and on, some of the players are just phenomenal, phenomenal individuals. And I love the game of lacrosse so much now. I can't wait for the RMLL season to start. It literally is my favorite time of the whole year. So
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it to start either. All right, now I have a couple more questions for you.
yeah, my friend.
If you had a time machine, where are you going and with who?
If I had a time machine, oh boy, I would almost kind of be curious to go back to the 60s just to see maybe how simple things used to be before our world got so complicated. And also, I kind of wouldn't mind going 10, 15 years into the future to get both sides of the coin to see kind of how far we've gotten away from what really matters, from values of just loving and caring for people and working hard. all those things. So it'd be such a cool contrast to go, 60 years back and then 20 years ahead, just to see how our society has grown, both for the positive and for the negative.
Okay. Yeah, no. Great answer for sure. Okay, you get to pick the next NLL expansion in Canada. Where is it and what is the team name?
I think, obviously, Edmonton, I think would be an incredible concept, but I think it has more to do with facility and whatnot. So if there was a facility in Edmonton that would be able to house, 7 to 8 to 10,000 people, from the circles that I've been involved with, from my understanding that its facility has always been the issue to find a spot for a franchise. So outside of Edmonton, which is my number one pick for sure, I want to say Winnipeg. I think that there's an opportunity there to grow. Saskatchewan obviously has a lot of big lacrosse fans, and in Ontario is where you look at BC and Ontario and junior A, tons of them. They probably could put a second one, honestly, in BC if they wanted to, based on the support there. But I'd like to see Winnipeg, just because I'm from it, born and raised in Winnipeg. So I'd like to see how they would do.
Yeah, no. And what would you name the team?
Oh boy, the Winnipeg traffic lights. Anyone
Okay.
who's gone to Winnipeg or has been raised in Winnipeg knows they love putting a red light every 5 feet. So no, yeah, I don't know. Winnipeg traffic lights. We'll go with that.
Nice. Yeah, Edmonton's definitely my number one choice for sure as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and just meeting Jordan Cornfield and working with him during the President's Cup a couple years back, and he obviously was a big part of that organization, and knowing how near and dear that is to his heart. And there are so many great people here that love to bring a franchise back, but I really would love to see Edmonton have an intermediate facility,
Yeah,
somewhere between 5 to 7 to 10,000 seats that could house a number of different acts that come through for sure.
totally. What's the craziest moment you've experienced in life so far? Can you tell us about
Craziest moment I've experienced in life. Wow, that's a loaded question. Yeah, I think that man, so many things from, you know, my journey to different encounters. Huh, craziest moment. Are you looking for sports or just
it? General.
overall, like in general? In general, all right. I'm a man who lives by faith, so I think that there's a lot of different circumstances in life. I think that you can chalk up to coincidence, but I like to equate that to my faith. And there's a number of different times that I've either avoided car accidents or I've seen just phenomenal things happen. Like back in the day before I quit drinking, I'm sober now, but there were situations where we were in a desperate situation, and just to watch how there was like a um, supernatural intervention to get me out of difficult situations. Looking back at my life, and I go, how was I not dead in that? How did I not um, cause more grief? How was there not more calamity? How didn't the worst possible thing happen? And there's so many things I think in my journey in my life that I found like that. And I'm now 45 years old. I love seeing great stories and crazy victories. Like the near misses on YouTube. If people watch Fail Army, the near misses, right? Those are, yeah, I've had quite a few of those in my life, and yeah, I never get tired of seeing those stories. So
Cool, cool. Yeah, totally. Great answer once again. What are your thoughts on the Raiders and the Mounties rivalry?
yeah, I think that it's an interesting one because obviously being two Calgary teams, right, where Raiders no longer, they Okotoks years ago and now right in Calgary, proximity rivalry, and I think that the history of Cody Hawkins and Mitch Bannister and Andrew McBride and all of them together have a lot of history. I think any time that you put a proximity team like in the AJHL, a Spruce Grove, Sherwood Park, right now BCHL, that was a big rivalry by proximity, right? Because you would just expect that being in the same city. The series last year to qualify for the Minto Cup, I thought was phenomenal. That 7-game series between the Raiders and the Mounties. I think that it can hit new heights. It can hit other levels. I think that based on, I think Cody probably is the one that stokes that fire the most because he's more of the from what I've been able to get to know, the competitor. Mitch, obviously a great competitor as well, and has had a great career. But Mitch seems to be more, from my interactions, the pragmatic guy that kind of dissects. Where Cody is very pragmatic, but he's got that.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jordan would always find ways. You know, this is the best way to describe it. He'd always find ways to fire himself up for a game. If you watch that documentary, so he might fake someone saying something to him to annoy him just to get him ready for the game. And in my conversations that I've had with Cody, and I love the fire because I think it's just a beautiful part of who he is. When he goes into a game, it's almost like he's been convincing himself. Someone told me I was not good enough. Someone told me I was this and that. And you can just see the fire in his eyes, right? Where I don't necessarily see that on the other side. So
Yeah.
that's what makes, I think, that rivalry just so exciting. And I can't wait to get back in the booth and call some of the games this year.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have today, but thank you, Dave.
Okay, thanks so much, Owen. Hopefully I didn't blow through too much airtime for you, but
Oh,
appreciate you having me on today.
no worries. Thank you.